the 2023 Spanish Grand Prix. So, let's start off with the AstCa news. And frankly, gotta be honest, not too much has gone down this last week. Except that on, I think it was Friday, yes, it would have been Friday, Nintendo revealed 2 new sets of joycons for the Nintendo Switch, which are pastel colours, which I think were a set of pastel yellow and pink, and pastel green and purple, which in my opinion look amazing. Like, if you have a proper Nintendo Switch, I've only got the Switch Lite, but if you have a proper Nintendo Switch, I would absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, recommend picking these up when they release at the end of the month. I believe the release date for them is the 30th of June, I think. Possibly. I can't remember. It's either... I think it is the last day of June, so I'm pretty sure that's the 30th. So, if you have a Nintendo Switch, I would definitely recommend picking these up because they look really damn cool, I've got to be honest. What else has happened this week? Frankly, shockingly little. It's been an incredibly slow news week. Yeah, not too much has happened at all. But let's talk about yesterday's qualifying session for this race. Well. That was confusing. The top 3 for today's race consist of Max Verstappen, which is a surprise to probably nobody, along with Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, and Lando Norris in the McLaren. That's pretty cool. However, Pierre Gasly was P4. And I say was for a very good reason. He had 2 3-place grid penalties, which is exactly how they worded it, so not quite sure they didn't say, yeah, he's got a 6th-place grid penalty. So, yeah, Pierre Gasly is now down in 10th place, which knocks Lewis Hamilton from 5th, where he was originally going to start, up to 4th. So, could Lewis Hamilton be in contention for the win today? Possibly. We do know the grid was quite mixed up over the weekend. Hell, at one point yesterday in qualifying, Nico Hülkenberg was on provisional pole. Yeah, a Haas was on provisional pole. It sounds weird, I know. Nick De Vries was in the top 3 at some point again as well. It's been very weird, guys, I can't lie. But yeah, the Mercedes does seem to be going a lot better around here at Barcelona. Of course, there have been some minor teething issues with, namely George Russell and Lewis Hamilton colliding at the end of Q2 yesterday. Speaking of Q2, both Sergio Perez and George Russell didn't make it into the top 10 shootout, so they're in 11th and 12th, respectively. George Russell being 12th, Perez being 11th. So that leaves Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen kind of vulnerable in the top 10. So have to see how that goes, because of course they haven't got their teammates to kind of back them up. So yeah, gonna have to see how that goes for the pair of them. Of course, I think Max Verstappen's biggest threat today is probably Carlos Sainz, or potentially Lewis Hamilton if he manages to get into 2nd. Or maybe, all the way from 9th, Fernando Alonso could come up the grid. Like, it's not impossible. Yeah, so the race could be quite strange, because it was a very mixed up grid, I've got to be honest, guys. I was confused, kind of worried, because at some point I thought something bad's going to happen, because it was getting... Well, it was raining quite profusely at one point during the qualifying, and yeah, it was raining quite bad. A couple of cars did go for a quick spin. Logan Sargent did crash, and I think... Was it practice 3 or was it qualifying? I don't remember. And Charles Leclerc didn't finish in the top 10. In fact, he went out in Q1. And actually, both him and Logan Sargent are going to be starting today's race from the pit lane, because they've had to do some major setup changes overnight, which is a massive no-no, So they've been, well, Charles Leclerc and Logan Sargent were starting at the back anyway, but now they're starting from the pit lane. Ouch. Of course, as I said, Mercedes had a really good day. Lewis Hamilton's now starting in 4th, and George Russell, unfortunately, is starting down in 12th. Red Bull had a pretty decent day as well, of course. Max Verstappen once again on pole, and then Perez down in 11th. And then you have Ferrari. Carlos Sainz in 3rd, and Charles Leclerc down in 19th and on the pit lane. Yeah, it's been a very mixed bag for a lot of teams. Like, all the teams have had one amazing result and one complete disaster. It's strange. So, how this race could go today is pretty much anyone's guess. Is it likely to be a Verstappen win? Possibly. It could be. But you never know. As I said, somebody else could come in and take the win, like Carlos Sainz. Maybe Lando Norris could come out of nowhere and take the win from 3rd place. Or maybe we get 2021 flashbacks and it's Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen again. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I really can't wait for this race. It's Spain. It's always a fun one. Unless we're talking about 2016. Yikes. But yeah, it's always a very fun race, I've got to be honest. And the track, of course, has been reprofiled to remove the end of the track chicane that was there for quite some time. And in fact, there is now only one driver on the F1 grid to have raced this format previously. And that is Fernando Alonso, when they last used this format back in 2006. So yeah, I'm going back an incredibly long time on that one. Yeah, 2006 was the last time they used this format, guys. So there's literally only one driver left on the grid who has raced on this version of the track. And he so happens to be in the 2nd quickest car this year. But yeah, I can't remember the exact grid order. I'm going to see if I can find it right now. Or actually, no, I'll wait till the race starts. But yeah. Grid order's a little bit weird, gotta be honest. Max Verstappen, unsurprisingly, is on pole position, which, yeah, that seems pretty consistent, to be fair. But I'm just wondering, is he going to win? Because that Red Bull hasn't been perfect over the weekend. There has been some minor mistakes, again, mainly from Sergio Perez with his little journey onto the gravel, which obviously knocked him out of Q2. But yeah, the Red Bull hasn't been perfect this weekend, I've got to be honest, so it could be a Verstappen win, equally it might not be. However, if it isn't a Verstappen win, it could very likely be the first non-Red Bull win this season. Yeah, we're already on the 7th race, and Red Bull have won all of them so far, be it Max or Sergio. As for, will that record maintain? I don't know, because as I said, the Red Bull, it's not been as good as it has been throughout the season this weekend, so keep an eye out, I suppose, for the other teams. Again, of course, I think Fernando Alonso could make his way up the order pretty quick. As for the 2 Williams drivers, I'm not sure. I really don't know at this point. Of course, Logan Sargent's starting at the pit lane. I think Alex Albon's starting towards the back somewhere. I can't remember. But yeah, I think Williams are going to be an absolute miracle to win this weekend. Or get on the podium, I think. But yeah, there's a few teams I think who could get the win this weekend. Of course, as I've said, Red Bull most likely with Max. Ferrari potentially with Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris with McLaren, that would be an absolute sight to behold. And of course, we cannot dismiss Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, again, which I think has massively improved since these new side pods have been put on the car. Because of course we know they did run the zero pod design, as it's been called, since the 2022 season all the way through until the race before Monaco last week. So I think they finally decided that no, that concept just doesn't work. Let's scrap the whole thing, try something new, slap massive side pods on there, and it seems to be doing them some favours. Of course, it's not been perfect for them. Of course, it is a whole new concept for the car, so it is going to have some teething issues. So maybe a championship win this year is out of the question, unless they get those teething issues sorted really damn quick. But as for the constructors, it's unlikely. Drivers, also unlikely. I think Mercedes' next best chance is 2024, because of course over the winter break they'll have a lot of data to analyze from this new design, and then they'll be able to say, okay, this works, this doesn't, and then they may be back in championship contention. But of course, we still have Red Bull to contend with, who this season are going to run out of wind tunnel time by the end of the season, because of course, as we know, their punishment for overspending in 2021 was quite a hefty fine and a reduction in wind tunnel time, which I think was a 10% reduction on top of the 7% reduction that they had from winning the Constructors' Championship in 2021. So that equals a grand total of 17% less win time than all the other teams. In fact, I'm pretty damn sure that drops them below Mercedes in the wind tunnel time. Yeah. I think they have less wind tunnel time than Ferrari, actually, so they're going to start to run out of wind tunnel time eventually. Of course, the other teams will still have some in the bag. So Red Bull's dominance could get toppled at some point, although, considering how damn quick that car is, that's looking unlikely as well. They've given themselves a really good head start. They were probably anticipating themselves running out of the wind tunnel time. So they've probably thought, right, if we make this car really, really, really good now, it's going to take a lot for the other teams to catch up, even with our massive reduction in wind tunnel time. So, yeah, this season could be a bit weird. Like, Red Bull could dominate for ages, then all of a sudden, they could just drop off a cliff. They could just end up absolutely nowhere. Or they manage to absolutely ace it and dominate the season. Who knows? Like, it's still too early to tell, even though we're approaching the halfway point of the season. There is only 4 races left until we get there. Because, of course, there is now a 22-race season, so round 11 will be the halfway point. And, of course, this is the 7th race. I know it's being called round 8, but, of course, Imola never happened, so this is really the 7th race. So, 4 more races and we're at the halfway point of the season. And by then, we might have an idea of how this is going to end. We might not. I think we're truly going to get an idea of how the season's going to go after the summer break, which is, of course, that massive 3-week-long break of F1, much like we had in April, which was all sorts of fun. Yeah, I'm dreading that happening again. Yeah, I think we'll get a good idea either after the halfway point or probably post-summer break, because I think the season is ending in October, so it's going to be a very quick turnaround on the last few races. Like, we're going to be churning them out at very high speeds. Of course, we know the Las Vegas track has been revealed now, thanks to F1 23, which is obviously really cool. I do like the look of this track. It does look like a nice track. Definitely some good points for overtaking, I'd say. But yeah, I don't know how the season's going to go at all. I don't think anyone does, really, because we know that right now Red Bull are absolutely acing it. I will give them that. They are doing a fantastic job. But with a reduction in wind tunnel time, that could just fall away. They may either get caught up to or overtaken. It's not impossible. As I said, there are quite a few teams with more wind tunnel time than them, such as, I'm pretty sure, Ferrari and Mercedes. I can't remember how far down that goes. Like, I know there's a couple of teams that have more wind tunnel time than them, and I think it goes as far as, I think Alpine. It goes quite far down. So Red Bull do not have nearly as much wind tunnel time as they would like. But yeah, so with any luck for them, this massive head start they've given themselves will allow them just to be caught up to rather than overtaken. Have to wait and see, I suppose. Anyway, we're now about 15 minutes away from the start of this race. And I've got to say, I'm looking forward to it. As I am with pretty much every race. I look forward to them all. I know there's going to be some that are going to be really interesting and some that are going to be slightly less interesting. Again, kind of looking at Monaco, but this year's Monaco was absolutely brilliant. Although I think we can kind of thank the rain for that, because the rain really ramped up the chaos. Yeah, the rain threw a spanner in many of the team's works. So hopefully there's no rain today, because we know that it did cause a bit too much chaos yesterday with a couple of cars taking a trip to the gravel. Yeah, so hopefully there isn't any rain today, because that will just create a little bit too much chaos. But yeah, looking forward to this one, guys, I've got to be honest. So yeah, this is basically round 7, even though it's going to be called round 8, because round 6 should have been Imola. Maybe it'll get thrown back on. Maybe they'll reorganize it for at some point towards the end of the year. Because I know we have Monza coming up as well, so maybe, if F1 really wanted to, they could go from Monza straight to Imola, or Imola to Monza, if there's time in between. I can't remember if there's a week off between that. I'll have to check later on, but I'm pretty sure that there might be a gap some on either side of Monza, so maybe they could throw Imola in. Have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm not too sure how that's gonna work, which is a shame, because I do like Imola. It's a decent track. Of course, it carries very bad memories. Rest in peace, Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger. For a lot of very bad memories for a lot of people. But it is a good track. It does create some very interesting racing and some amazing races. So hopefully it'll make its return at some point for the end of the year. But logistically, it's very hard to reorganize a race for a different date. It's very logistically hard to do that. So, question mark on if Imola's going to be there this season. I'm hoping it is, because it is a damn good track. But if it isn't, roll on next year. You know, next year's always going to be there for us to have Imola back. And I've been hearing rumours that Sepang could be returning to F1. Now, Sepang's a fan favourite, gotta be honest. It's also a really good track. So yeah, I'm hoping Sepang does make a return at some point. Of course, we know we should have Kyalami next year as well, which personally, the only Welsh driver in Formula 1 history died at Kyalami in 1977. Of course, that was Tom Price, who also was from Wrexham, which is like the coolest thing ever. And a little bit of, I think I actually did talk about this last week, but yeah, I would like to see Kyalami back, of course. I am a bit worried because, of course, of Tom Price, but hopefully they can sort out the safety issues, because that was just a safety issue, really. That was a massive mess up. So I'm hoping that Kyalami does go swimmingly when it does come back. Of course, more tracks on Formula 1 is always a good thing. Like, of course, it's going to be very logistically hard to sort out all the races if they keep adding them in. Because, of course, we're now pushing on 25 races a season, which is actually the limit that the FIA originally had allowed for a race count per season. So, at the moment, F1 can only go up to 25 races per season. However, there's nothing stopping the FIA from changing the rules. So there's potential that the race count could keep going up and up and up and up and up. Yeah, which would make things very logistically difficult for a lot of the teams, because, of course, unlike sports like NASCAR, IndyCar, who do race most weekends of the year, F1 goes across the planet. That's going to be incredibly hard to do, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes, but maybe some tracks will be sacrificed for new tracks coming in, such as Kyalami. Well, Kyalami's a returning track, but still. Anyway, we're about 10 minutes away from the race start now, so I'm going to get tuned in, and I'll be back in a second. I remembered to turn these on in advance this week. I remembered last week, and that was not good. Right. Okay. Boop. Click. And we're on. Okay. So yeah, we've got about 10 minutes to go to the race now. Really can't wait for this one. Hopefully the weather's looking okay. Okay. There's Lance Stroll getting ready to get into his car, but he's not quite in there yet. Okay. There's Carlos Sainz getting ready to get into his car as well. And I've got to be honest, I'm liking his race suit for this weekend, because of course, Carlos Sainz is from Spain, and he has a kind of Spanish-themed race suit, and I've got to be honest, it looks good. And the same goes for his hat, which also looks really cool, in my opinion. Okay, there's Max Verstappen getting suited up. Okay. A very crowded grid right now, I've got to be honest. Wow. That is very packed. Okay, Oscar Piastri's nearly ready to get into his car. Okay. George Russell, they're all getting ready to get in their cars at this point, but yeah, we have George Russell right now getting ready. Okay. Okay, I'm just altering the lights here, guys. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay. Right, lights out in just a few minutes' time. Yeah, I really can't wait for this one, guys. As I said, Spain is always a fun race to watch. But yeah, the grid is very, very mixed up, so I'm not quite sure how this one's gonna go. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, but it's just really been made a bit of a mess. It's kind of the only way to describe it, really. The grid has just kind of gone all over the place. Yeah, there's many drivers out of place today, so let's keep an eye on it, I suppose. Like, I'm expecting a few overtakes at the start, to be honest with you. Like, I'm definitely expecting Fernando Alonso to make a few separate moves. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton could get the McLaren Lando Norris quite quickly, because the Mercedes is a much faster car than the McLaren. Well, on paper anyway. So, he could get Lando Norris quite quickly. Carlos Sainz, possible. But I think Lewis versus Max is possible, unless Fernando Alonso just jumps up the grid at the start, because that Aston Martin this year is an absolute bullet. So, yeah, I'm really not sure how this one could go. It's a bit unpredictable, really. Yeah. This is the first race where I've not been able to come close to predicting what's going to happen. Because nothing's made sense so far this weekend. No one's really where they should be, except arguably Max Verstappen. Because, of course, man's on a different level this season. So, yeah, no one's really where they should be, so... Ugh! Not quite sure what's going on. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a very strange race, guys. I've got to be honest with you all. One second. Okay. There we go. Now you can see me. Okay. Right, we should be getting going in about 5 minutes' time now, so in a moment we'll get the track information and the grid order. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to calculate how long this race should take this weekend, because this format hasn't got the fastest lap recorded, because of course this is a new format, so it's basically a new track. So, yeah, it's going to be 66 laps, that I do know. But as for the race run time, question mark. I reckon it'll be around the hour and a quarter mark, like the last few races. So between an hour and a quarter and an hour and a half, I would predict. Just not quite sure of an absolute time. Which does suck a bit, but I am glad that they've removed the chicane, because it did make things quite slow on the old format. So I am very glad that they have removed that, and to be honest, a lot of people are glad about it as well. Okay. Right. The race should get started in a couple of minutes. Okay, F1 intro time. So that means we're getting close. Just gonna quickly come this piece of hair down because it's driving me insane. That didn't quite work, but oh well, we're rolling with it. Yeah. We're already approaching the halfway point of the season. That's nuts. Of course, this season, unless Imola gets added back, will be no longer the last season, but this season seems to be going by very quickly now. Now we've only got 22 races, although again, should Imola return, it'll be 23, which would break the record. Yeah, this season's going by really quick now, so I'm not quite sure what's happening with time. That little problem again. Right. Here we are. Okay. And this is the 53rd Spanish Grand Prix, and the 33rd to take place at the Circuitdecatalunya, which is a pretty fun fact for you all. Okay. Yep, the chicane is gone. 4.657 kilometers, 66 laps, and the race record is 1 minute 18 from Max Verstappen. However, the lap times have plummeted down now, considering that the chicane's gone. So, expect it in the 1 minute 12s, maybe the 1 minute 13s or 14s. So, it could be fairly quick laps, to be honest with you. Again, I reckon about an hour and a quarter to an hour and a half race, provided nothing goes horribly wrong. Hopefully nothing does go wrong, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, this race is always quite interesting. Stuff can go wrong quite easily, but as long as you're careful, things can go quite well. Right. Okay, the tyre compounds this weekend are the C3, C2, and C1, which are the soft, medium, and hard respectively. Some of the hardest in the Pirelli range, so this is going to be quite an interesting one to watch with the tyres. Now, for the grid, here's what we have today. Alright, Logan Sargent and Charles Leclerc are starting in the pit lane. And then we have Alex Albon and Kevin Magnussen in 18th and 17th respectively. Next we have Valtteri Bottas in 16th and Yuki Tsunoda in 15th. And we have Nick De Vries in 14th and Zhou Guanyu in 13th. Then we have George Russell in 12th and Sergio Perez in 11th after the unfortunate qualifying they both had. And then we have Pierre Gasly in 10th thanks to his grid penalty, and Oscar Piastri in 9th. Okay, Fernando Alonso is now in 8th, and Nico Hülkenberg is in 7th. And then Esteban Ocon is 6th, and Lance Stroll is in 5th. And then, of course, we have Lewis Hamilton in 4th, and Lando Norris in 3rd. And lastly, we have Carlos Sainz in 2nd, and Max Verstappen in 1st. Of course, they were both each other's first teammates in Formula 1 back in Toro Rosso in 2015. Just a little fun fact for you guys, in case you didn't know or didn't remember that. Okay, Fernando Alonso's in his car, looking very ready to go. And same goes for Lance Stroll. Yeah, and Lance Stroll has outqualified Fernando Alonso for the first time this season. And of course, McLaren are still running their Triple Crown livery, which, in my opinion, I love it. I've got to be honest. So yeah, the McLaren's still running that, of course, with their Triple Crown race suits as well. Okay. The tyre blankets are coming off slowly. Okay. Okay. We have a lot of soft tyre runners at the start. In fact, the only ones who aren't are Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, who is on hards, and Logan Sargent. Now, Verstappen, Perez, and Sargent are on mediums, but Leclerc is the only driver on hard tyres, so have to see how that goes, but the rest of the grid are all on the soft tyres, so this could be interesting. Okay, and off they go for the formation lap. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, guys. Okay. And during the 1992 Olympics, the Circuit de Catalunya actually held a cycling event for the Olympics. So this is also a cycling track as well as an F1 track and an Olympic cycling track at that. So a lot of prestigious history in this circuit. Okay. And each car. Oh, and we have. Oh, I'm going to guess that in a minute. Right. The tyre strategies are soft for 16 laps, hard for 24 laps, and hard for 26 laps, and then 23 laps on the mediums, 25 laps on the hards, and 18 laps on the softs. Now, another thing's just been pointed out. For the first time in F1 history, there are 7 different constructors in the top 7 places. So each of the top 7 is a different car. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Ugh. Good. Oh, I'm good. Don't know what happened there. That was that wasn't good. But yeah, I'm fine. Okay, and we have the full weekend attendance of 284,066 people across the weekend. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, and the previous 5 winners are Verstappen, Hamilton, and Hamilton. So, yeah, Lewis Hamilton has won a lot of these races, and of course, Max Verstappen is the most recent winner last year. Okay. 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 Okay, no, that's Alex Albon getting ready to line up in the last grid slot, of course. Leclerc and Logan Sargent are starting in the pits, so okay. There's Sergio Perez coming into his grid slot. Right. We're almost all there. Okay. Car green flags waving. Okay. And the lights are out. And we're off for the Spanish Grand Prix. Okay, Max Verstappen has an amazing getaway there. Okay. Right. Oh, and Lewis Hamilton's up into third, sorry. Ooh. Okay. And Hamilton and Norris have made contact. Okay. Wow, this is chaos. Okay. Lando's already dropped back to 6th. There could be quite a lot of damage there. Okay. Yep. Norris confirming over radio. He's got damage. Okay. Right rear puncture. Okay. And Lance Stroll has gotten in front of Lewis Hamilton already. Wow, okay. And here comes Sergio Perez to try and overtake Oscar Piastri, but doesn't quite do it yet. Right. Lando Norris is coming into the pits. Okay. Okay, there's the new front wing going on Lando Norris. Oh! Okay, that was quite a while of getting out of the pits there for Lando Norris. Okay, we're already on to lap 2, so this is going to be a very quick race. Okay. Okay. Lance Stroll is still holding off Lewis Hamilton quite well. And Fernando Alonso was also holding off George Russell. So this could be quite an interesting Mercedes versus Aston Martin race. Okay, and here we come on to lap 3. Okay, and that's Max Verstappen on the fastest lap of a 1.20.402. So that's 1 minute 20.402. 1 minute 20.402 seconds. And DRS is now enabled, so there's going to be some overtakes happening very soon, I would reckon. Okay, we're just having a look at the race restart again. Well, the race start, I should say. Okay. That was just pure chaos, I've got to be honest. Ooh, that was some piece of carbon fibre flying off. Probably from Lando Norris's McLaren. That was a front wing end plate. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, here's Carlos Sainz's view of the race start. Okay. Right, now we're back to the race on lap 4. And Lando Norris now has the fastest lap. Unfortunately, I don't have the lap time. Okay. Ah, 1 minute 20.072. Wow! Shaved off 4 tenths from Max Verstappen's fastest lap time. Woof. Okay. Right. Oh, George Russell's an incident with George Russell's been noted for him leaving the track and gaining an advantage. We'll see if that gets investigated, probably very soon. Okay, Sergio Perez is up into 10th. Okay. Lando Norris again with the fastest lap. 1 minute 20.051 this time, so Lando Norris is really trying to make up some places again, because of course that pit stop has plummeted him down from 3rd to last, which I'm sure is going to be incredibly painful for him. Okay, we're on lap 6. Okay. Is Sergio Perez coming very close to Kevin Magnussen, I think? No, Nico Hulkenberg, sorry. And that's him overtaking Nico Hulkenberg for 9th place. Okay, Valtteri Bottas went into the pits with a 4.3 second stop, I think that says. Okay. Okay. Got an onboard here with George Russell. Okay. Anyone going to try and overtake somebody else at the moment? Okay, we're on to lap 7 now. Lando Norris is still holding the fastest lap. And Fernando Alonso has been overtaken by George Russell. But it would seem that we missed that. Ouch. Okay, there's a bit of a train. There's a bit of a good old trolley train forming here with 4 different cars. I can't remember who they said, but I'm sure we'll see them in a moment. Okay. Lewis Hamilton is still chasing down Lance Stroll to try and get that 3rd place back. Okay. Okay. Here's an onboard from Charles Leclerc doing an overtake on... And that was an overtake on Alex Albon there from Charles Leclerc. Ooh, and there's Lewis Hamilton overtaking Lance Stroll. But is it over? It seems to be. Ooh, and there's Oscar Piastri overtaking Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas. Okay, so that's Lewis Hamilton back up into 3rd, 2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. So I'm going to guess that Lewis Hamilton is now going to be gunning it for the Ferrari. And then if he can, try and chase down the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. But we'll wait and see. Okay. Okay. Oh, and Max Verstappen has regained the fastest lap of the 1 minute 19.894 seconds. So that's 2/10 taken off of Lando Norris's previous fastest lap time. So the lap times are going to start coming down pretty soon, I would reckon. Okay. And here's Sergio Perez going to overtake Zhou Guanyu. Oof. And now, next in Sergio Perez's sights is Fernando Alonso. Oof. Okay, we're on lap 9 now. Oh, Carlos Sainz radio. Okay, Ferrari's second on plan A for now. Okay. Right. Oh, no further investigation for the George Russell leaving the track and gaining an advantage incident. So, no further investigation on that. So, it was deemed that he didn't gain an advantage at all. Fair enough then. Okay. And here comes Max Verstappen to start lap 10. Okay, so we're already nearly 1/6 the way through this race now. That's nuts! We've only gone for about 10-15 minutes. And already 1/6 the way through this race. Oh, and here comes Zhou Guanyu into the pits for a fresh set of hard tyres. Ooh, that was very close between him and Nick de Vries there, who's also just come into the pits. That was a 3.7 second stop for Zhou Guanyu and a 3-second flat for Nick de Vries. Okay. George Russell is also chasing down Esteban Ocon quite quickly. I've got a race replay here of Pierre Gasly overtaking Kevin Magnussen. So that was quite a clean move there from Pierre Gasly. But yeah, George Russell is really chasing down Esteban Ocon now for 5th place. Okay. Ooh, and there goes George Russell overtaking Esteban Ocon. Okay. And Lewis Hamilton is slowly closing in on Carlos Sainz with a 1.7 second gap now, so he's slowly closing in, and now we're on to lap 11, so, whew, okay. Okay. Lewis Hamilton's averaging around the 1.7 mark now to Carlos Sainz, so maybe in a few laps' time we'll get an attempt of an overtake. Wait and see. Okay. Oh. Oh, wow. And there's a double overtake for one of the Haas cars there. I think that's Nico Hülkenberg overtaking Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda at the same time. Damn, that was mental. Yeah, oh, sorry, it was Nico Hülkenberg overtaking, overtaking Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda, yeah. And speaking of Hülkenberg, he's got the fastest lap now. A 1 minute 19.527 seconds. Wow! Okay. Here we go. Okay, Sergio Perez is up into 8th, so still got Fernando Alonso firmly in his sights. Again, Lewis Hamilton is getting ever closer to Carlos Sainz now, but he is around the 1.3 second mark now, so he may get an overtake in the next 5 laps, or at least attempt it in the next 5 or so laps, I would reckon. Because, of course, once he gets within 1 second of Carlos Sainz, DRS will be available to him. Okay. Charles Leclerc is up into 11th now. And we're on lap 13, so we're over a sixth of the way through this race now. Carlos Sainz radio. Okay, Carlos Sainz is being told to hurry the heck up because Lewis Hamilton is closing in on him. 1.3 seconds the gap now, and the pit window is open for the soft tyre runners, which will run between lap 13 and 20. So if you're on a soft tyre and want to pit, the time is now on to lap 14. So any time between now and lap 20. So that's the optimum time to pit on the soft tyres. Oh, speaking of which, in goes Esteban Ocon, which will give George Russell 5th place. Oh, no, sorry. No, it won't. Well, it did, I think. I don't remember at this point. No, George Russell already had 5th place. Okay, so in comes Esteban Ocon anyway. And that's a 2.3 second stop for Esteban Ocon. Not bad. Ooh. And Ocon just gets in front of Nico Hulkenberg there out of the pits. Ooh, that was close. And there's Tsunoda, okay. Oh, and Lewis Hamilton is now in DRS range of Carlos Sainz at 0.8 seconds. So there could be a battle brewing between Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton in the next lap or so. In fact, maybe on the main straight, Lewis Hamilton will open the rear wing. Oh, and here he comes, actually. Is he going to try and overtake him? Not yet. But he is very close to him there. Okay, and here's Lance Stroll coming into the pits. Okay, Lewis Hamilton is 0.506 seconds behind Carlos, never mind, 0.668 seconds behind Carlos Sainz, so Carlos is gaining on Lewis. Well, Lewis is slipping back a bit from Carlos, teeny bit, but still well within DRS range, so this battle still could very much be on. Have to see how things go at the end of lap 15 here. Okay, I think at the end of this lap we could see quite a scrap between Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. We'll wait and see. Oh, Carlos Sainz radio. Okay, in goes Carlos Sainz to the pits, which automatically puts Hamilton up into second and 8 seconds behind Max Verstappen, which no doubt Lewis will be gunning for to try and catch up to him. And George Russell's up into 3rd, Fernando Alonso's up into 4th, Perez is up into 5th. That was chaos. That's put Carlos Sainz down into 8th with Charles Leclerc behind him. And the only thing Carlos Sainz said on radio was, why? Oh dear. Ugh. Oh, Hamilton radio. Okay, Lewis seems really happy with the car right now. Fair enough. Okay, there's Zhou Guanyu on Nico Hulkenberg. And I think he gets the overtake done round about here, yep. Oof. That was a pretty good overtake there from Zhou Guanyu. Huh. And Charles Leclerc's now being told to come into the pits as well. Okay. Okay, Alex Albon's in the pits as well. That was a 2.4 second stop for Charles Leclerc. And the pit stop time for Alex Albon will be something. 3.5 seconds. Okay. Okay. Lewis Hamilton is now very slowly catching up to Max Verstappen. And I mean, very slowly. He's still at 8 seconds behind him, but it could happen. He's got plenty of laps left. Plenty of laps left to try and catch up to Max Verstappen. Okay, Oscar Piastri's in the pits as well. And that was a 2.5 second stop for Oscar Piastri. That was a good one from McLaren, to be fair. Oh, and Logan Sargent's in the pits as well. Okay. Okay, and that's a 2.7 second stop for Logan Sargent. Okay, lap 19. Okay, and there's Carlos Sainz closing up to the Alpine of Pierre Gasly. Okay, that could be an interesting one to watch very soon. Maybe in the next couple of turns, actually. George Russell radio. And George Russell's saying that his tyres are still good as well. And there's Carlos Sainz absolutely blitzing Pierre Gasly. So he's back up into 6th place. Okay. Okay. Not much seems to be happening right now. Again, we're approaching the midpoint of the race, so things will start to slow down for a little while. And then again, towards the end, things will start to go a bit chaotic again. So, I reckon between lap 33 and probably lap 55, it's going to be quite slow. But after lap 55, towards the 11 laps to go mark, things will start to heat up again. So, yeah, at this point in the race, things are going to slow down a bit. Oh, and here comes Fernando Alonso into the pits. And that is going to be a 2.7-second stop for Fernando Alonso, and quite a slow stop there for the Alpine of Pierre Gasly with a 3.9 seconds. Oof. Oh. And there's Charles Leclerc overtaking Pierre Gasly. Damn, okay. Well, he didn't quite get around him in the pits, I should say. Gasly and Leclerc, I mean. Okay, lap 21, so we're approaching third race distance. Okay. Yep, third race distance is almost achieved. Oh, George Russell radio. Okay. George Russell thinks that even though he's on the softs, this could be a one-stop race. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis Hamilton ends up agreeing. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Yep, the top four, are all on 0 pit stops, because Sergio Perez has made his way up into 4th, so the two Mercedes are currently in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich. However, I think there's quite a gap between George Russell and Sergio Perez, I think. Okay, here's Pierre Gasly, pit stop. Oh, the front right tyre wasn't quite going on properly with Pierre Gasly. Okay, so that's what happened there with him. Okay. Okay, and the fastest lap now is held by Pierre Gasly with a 1 minute 19.437 seconds. Okay. Okay, lap 23 now. Looks as if Nick De Vries is going to be trying an overtake on Kevin Magnussen soon, because he is quite close to Kevin Magnussen, so this could be interesting to watch for a little while. Okay. And here we have Pierre Gasly again, seemingly sporting a helmet for the Flash movie coming out in a couple of weeks. Because I can see the Batman logo, the Flash logo, obviously, and I think I could see the Supergirl logo as well. So looks as Pierre Gasly has a Flash movie themed helmet, which is pretty cool. Okay, lap 24 now. Okay, and Pierre Gasly gets around the AlphaTauri, sorry. I think that was Yuki Tsunoda. Damn, that was impressive. Okay. Because, oh no, it was De Vries, sorry. De Vries was trying to overtake Magnussen, but in being backed up by Magnussen, Gasly was able to get around De Vries. That was quite a pretty good move, to be fair. Second, guys. Ugh. There we go. I'm good. Yeah, things are going to start slowing down now in terms of overtakes and moves on other drivers. Not much is going to be happening for a while. Oh, Lewis Hamilton has been told to go into the pits. So it looks as if the softs have run out on Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately. But we'll wait and see how he gets on with this new set of mediums that are being put on the car. Okay, that was a 3-second flat stop for Lewis Hamilton, which was pretty good. This puts him down into 5th place. Okay. Okay. So there's a 2-second, a near 3-second gap to Carlos Sainz now, which I'm sure Lewis Hamilton should be able to make back up. But we'll wait and see. Oh, Kevin Magnussen's into the pits now, and his pit stop is going to be a grand total of... Find out in a second. 5 seconds. Oh, that's a very slow stop there. Okay, here comes Pierre Gasly. This is the overtake on Nick De Vries. Okay. Yeah. That was very clean from Pierre Gasly. Oh, teeny little bit of contact there between Gasly's rear right and De Vries' front left. And here comes George Russell into the pits as well. 2.6 second stop for him. So slightly faster than Lewis Hamilton. And this puts George Russell down into 6th behind Lance Stroll. Okay. So the Mercedes duo have got a little bit of work to do to get back up into the top 3. However, it might not take them very long. We'll wait and see. Here comes Charles Leclerc on Nick De Vries. And Max Verstappen is coming into the pits now as well. And theoretically, Max Verstappen should still come out back into 1st. Because he's got quite a gap ahead of him. Well, behind him to Sergio Perez. So, in theory, he should be... Oh, that was a 2.2 second stop for Max Verstappen. So, he should still come out in front of Sergio Perez. Yeah, still comes out into 1st. Okay. But it's now a 7-second gap to Sergio Perez instead of the 28 gap he had before. Okay. Okay, and there's the Haas of... Oh! The rear jack man missed his marker. Oops. Maybe it broke. Okay, we're on to lap 27 now. Okay, that was a 1 minute 19.412 for Kevin Magnussen for the fastest lap. So 1 minute 19.412 seconds. So that was actually quite quick there for Magnussen. Okay. Oh, George Russell is reporting rain at turn 5. Okay, this race could get quite interesting now if there is indeed rain coming towards the track. But here comes Sergio Perez, which promotes Carlos Sainz into third. Never mind. Carlos Sainz into third because Lewis Hamilton has overtaken Carlos Sainz again, up into second. George Russell has the fastest lap now. Okay, that was a bit of a chaotic pit stop for Sergio Perez, which it was a 2-second stop. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton is back up into second with Carlos Sainz being overtaken at some point there. Oh, and here is that overtake. And this is going to be a dive bomb from Lewis Hamilton. Yep. Wow. Okay. That was nuts. Okay. So now Lewis Hamilton's just got to close the gap again to Max Verstappen. Okay. Okay. And that's George Russell with the fastest first sector of the race. And that's Max Verstappen on the fastest lap now. With a 1 minute 18.707 seconds. So that's going to be nuts. Okay, and that's George Russell on the fastest lap now with a 1 minute 18.264 seconds. So almost half a second quicker than Max Verstappen's fastest lap time. Oof. Okay, we're on to lap 29, so we're approaching half race distance now. Okay. Okay. Now on to lap 30. So we're not quite at half race distance yet. Okay. Nothing seems to be happening right now. Got an onboard here from Lewis Hamilton. Okay, Sergio Perez is now currently hunting down Fernando Alonso for 8th place. Okay. Okay. I think Sergio Perez is about to overtake Fernando Alonso. Probably on the main straight now. Yep, There it goes. And that's Fernando Alonso down into 9th. This has not been his best race at the moment. Does he have time to improve that? Absolutely. But right now, things are not going the typical Fernando Alonso route that they've been going so far this season. There we go. Okay. Yeah, not much is happening right now, and I kind of expect that we're approaching the halfway point of the race now. In fact, the next lap will be the halfway point, so... Oh, George Russell radio. Right, okay. It may not be rain after all, because it's only George Russell reporting it, so it may actually just be sweat inside of his helmet. Well, that was awkward. Never mind, ignore any previous comments about rain occurring. Whoops. Okay. Go. Okay, lap 32. Oh, and Nico Hülkenberg's just overtaken Alex Albon, it would seem. And now we're on to lap 33, so we're at the halfway point of the race now. Okay, and there's now a battle for third place between Carlos Sainz and George Russell. George Russell could be in striking distance within 2 laps with a 2.1 second gap, so wait and see. Okay. Okay, George Russell has the fastest lap now, so this overtake attempt could be on very soon. Okay. Okay, and there's Sergio Perez overtaking Yuki Tsunoda, I think that is. That was a very good overtake there from Sergio Perez, so that's knocked him up into 7th. Okay, on to lap 34 now. Sorry guys, just disconnected my microphone for a second. Whoops. Okay, and there's okay, Perez has now overtaken Esteban Ocon as well, so that's put him up into 6th. I'm hoping this is still working. Otherwise you can't hear me now, which is annoying as hell. But yeah, that's Sergio Perez up into 6th, which is really good for him. Okay. Okay, lap 35 now. And George Russell is really closing in on Carlos Sainz now, so he could get the overtake for third place done very soon. In fact, it may be in the next couple of seconds, like now. Yep, yep, okay, just about gets it. Whew! Right, so that's George Russell up into third, and that's Stroll and Tsunoda both into the pits. That was very close there. Okay, Lance Stroll is going on to the hard tyres. That's 3.3 second stop for him, and for Tsunoda, it'll be a 2.5 second stop. Whew, okay. Okay. Lap 36 now. Okay, now we've got 30 laps to go. And now Pierre Gasly is chasing down Oscar Piastri. Okay. George Russell, again, seeing George Russell's overtake on Carlos Sainz. Very, very close overtake there. Oh, that could have ended quite badly because they did get quite close coming into turn one. George Russell radio. Ugh. Okay. And there's Esteban Ocon into the pits with a 4.2 second stop. So that's quite close there for Esteban. Quite slow there for Esteban Ocon. Wonder what happened there. Okay. Okay, and the hard tyre pit window is now from lap 37 to lap 43, so now's the optimum time to pit off the hard tyres. Okay, Carlos Sainz radio real quick. Yeah, if you want to pit off of the hard tyres between lap 37 and 33 is the best time to do it, which is conveniently now. Okay. Zhou Guan Yu's coming into the pits. Okay. And that is a 3.7 second pit stop for Zhou Guan Yu. Okay, that's kind of a slow one. Okay, Logan Sargent's in the pits as well. And pardon me, is a 4 second stop for Logan Sargent. Okay, lap 38 now. Okay. Oh, Bottas radio. Oh, Alex Albon's in the pits. Okay, now we have 27 laps to go. Okay. Yeah, not too much is happening now, which honestly is what I expected. In the next, I reckon, 10 laps, things should start to heat up a bit again. Ready for the final stretch of the race? We'll wait and see. Okay, Nick De Vries is in the pits again. Okay. Oh. Okay. We have an Aspanok on replay. Okay, and there's Aspanok on overtaking Nick De Vries on a replay. Okay. Pierre Gasly and Aspanok. No, Pierre Gasly and Oscar Piastri are in the pits. Okay, that was 3.1 second stop for Piastri and a 5-second stop for Gasly. Okay. Valtteri Bottas is in the pits now as well. Well, he's coming into the pit lane currently. Okay, and Bottas's pit stop was a 4-second pit stop. Another pretty slow one, to be honest. I wonder what happened there. Okay. Lap 41 now. Okay. And there's a Mercedes. I think that's Lewis Hamilton. No, it's George Russell. Sorry. Okay. Then only 2 soft tyre runners left in the race now, and that is Fernando Alonso and Charles Leclerc. I can't see any others. Nope, it's just those two. And the rest are on mediums or hard tyres. Okay, lap 42. We're nearly approaching 2/3 of the race now. Okay. Carlos Sainz has been told to come into the pits again. Okay. And Carlos Sainz has been overtaken by Fernando Alonso in the pits. So he is down into 6th now. And Charles Leclerc's coming into the pits now as well. Okay. That was a 3.3 second there for Charles Leclerc pit stop. Okay. Right, and that's Gasly down into 14th. Oof, okay. So that's Carlos Sainz down into 6th and Charles Leclerc into 14th. Oof. Okay, lap 43 now. So we are very quickly approaching 2/3 of this race. I knew this wouldn't be a long race, to be honest. I didn't think it'd be crazy long. Oh, Verstappen radio. Right, Max is reporting that the tyres are starting to wear away and they're overheating a lot when he's braking, so he may come into the pit again in the next few laps, which could see him to the end now. No matter which tyre he goes on, his next pit stop could see him to the end. And we're now on to lap 44, so we're now 2/3 of the way through the race. 23 laps to go. So, yeah, if Max Verstappen does pit in the next few laps, this last pit stop could see him through to the end of the race. Okay. 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 Hulkenberg's in the pits now. 5 seconds for Hulkenberg, so that's a really slow stop. Oof. Okay, Fernando Alonso's in the pits again. Okay. Okay, and that was a 2.7 second stop for Fernando Alonso there. Okay. 21 laps to go. Okay. Oh, George Russell's been told to come into the pits. Oh, and there's Kevin Magnussen on the fastest lap. And that was a 2.6 second stop for George Russell, and that was a 1 minute 18.069 seconds fastest lap for Kevin Magnussen. Okay. Okay, oh, Verstappen radio. Okay, Verstappen's been warned twice about track limits now, so I think the next one is the black and white flag, and then it's the time penalty. Oh, okay. Huh. And it's the rear jack problem again for the Haas, which is why Hulkenberg had such a slow stop. Okay. Right, got 20 laps to go now. Okay. Right. We're approaching the final stages of the race now, so expect things to get a bit crazier again now. In the next few laps, I would reckon. And there's Neymar in the Mercedes garage. Okay. Now. Okay. Yep. Huh. Magnussen is still on the fast. Oh, never mind. The minute I say that, George Russell has the fastest lap now. 1 minute 18.067 seconds. Woof. No, sorry, 057 seconds. So that's one hell of a fast lap from George Russell there. Okay. Lap 49 now. Approaching lap 50 quite quickly. Okay. Oops, Sonoda radio. And another fast lap from George Russell. 1 minute 17.875 seconds. So George Russell's getting faster and faster out there. Oh, and here comes Fernando Alonso, about to overtake Yuki Tsunoda. Yep, there we go. And that's Fernando Alonso back up into 8th place. And that's just coming into lap 50. Okay, as usual, I'll be staying on the stream until the podium ceremony, and then I'll sign off, so I reckon I'll be on for another half an hour or so now. Maybe a bit less. We'll have to wait and see how these last 17 laps go. Oh, George Russell radio. Okay. Last 17 laps. Oh, is that Red Bull getting ready to do a pit stop? Okay. Yeah, so I'll stay on to the end of the podium ceremony as I usually do, and then I'll sign off, and then you can all join me again here later on with Roxanne for this week's 88th Astoundcast. We're approaching 100 quite quickly, guys. We should be there by the end of the year, definitely. Maybe even sooner than that. Well, hopefully way sooner than that. We'll wait and see. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's being told to pit. Okay. This should place him down in third. But yeah. So, we're approaching 100 Astoundcasts very quickly, guys. In the next few months, we'll definitely get there. Okay, and here's Hamilton's pit stop. And that is Lewis onto softs, and Perez has been told to box as well, so this is going to be quite interesting. So in theory, we could have a Mercedes double podium now. Okay, right, and there's Lewis Hamilton back out in second still, and there's George Russell into third, so Mercedes are back on the podium twice over now. And now they've got one hell of a gap to Max Verstappen now. That's going to be difficult to make up. Oh, Max Verstappen radio. However, that gap might be about to come down because Max is now complaining that the tyres are really going off. Oh, and that was some contact there between Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso. Of course, former teammates at Alpine. And now we've got 15 laps to go on lap 52. Okay, and here is the contact between Ocon and Alonso. Okay, there wasn't too much contact there. But that puts Alonso up into 7th place behind his teammate Lance Stroll. Oh, and Verstappen has come into the pits. Okay. And that was a 2.6 second stop for him. Okay. Okay. There's a 17-second gap now to Lewis Hamilton from Max Verstappen. Oh, and Sergio Perez now has the fastest lap, a 1 minute 16.666 seconds. Wow, that's a jump from Sergio Perez there. Okay. Okay, lap 53. Okay, and here's an overtake on Carlos Sainz, I think, for 4th from Sergio Perez. Okay, Okay, and here comes Yuki Tsunoda chasing down Esteban Ocon. A 0.6 second gap now between those two, so this could be quite an interesting one to watch. Oh, and here comes Yuki Tsunoda, potentially about to overtake Esteban Ocon. Nope, doesn't quite try it. Okay. Okay, lap 54 now. Okay. Lap 55. So this is when things are going to start going a bit mental again now, towards the end of the race. And the top four are all on soft tyres, so... oh, this could get nuts very quick. Okay, Ocon is still being hunted down by Yuki Tsunoda. Zhou Guanyu is also closing on Yuki Tsunoda, so this could be a three-way battle here for 8th place. Okay, lap 56 now, 11 laps to go. Okay. Okay. Oh. And Zhou Guanyu has to go off the track to avoid a crash with Yuki Tsunoda. Oof, okay. 10 laps to go now. Okay, cue the chaos any moment now. Oh, wow, yeah. Okay. Zhou, understandably not very happy about that. Okay. Lap 57. Still. Okay. De Vries might be about to try and overtake Oscar Piastri. He's within DRS range, but only just, so this battle could brew for a little while yet. Okay, now we're on to lap 58. Okay, here comes Nick De Vries on Oscar Piastri again. Oh, isn't quite close enough, and Nick De Vries does have a little bit of oversteer coming into turn 1, so he has to correct that. Okay, lap 59 now. And some quite ominous looking clouds above. Ugh. Maybe that rain is going to come at some point. Okay, and Max Verstappen has had his black and white flag warning for track limits. So next will be a 5-second time penalty, and I think it then increases. Oh, Verstappen radio, probably warning him about the track limits. Yeah, now Red Bull are just telling him to be careful, because he's still well ahead of Hamilton, so he could just win the race easy. Oh, okay. There's now a incident being noted between Tsunoda and Zhou about forcing the driver off track, which we did see. Okay, lap 60 now. Ooh, Fernando Alonso radio. And again, much like in Azerbaijan, Fernando Alonso saying to Aston Martin, don't worry, I'm not going to try to overtake Stroll. I'm going to maintain position and keep the cars behind us. So, fairly good bit of teamwork there from Fernando Alonso. I'm sure Lance Stroll will definitely appreciate that. Okay. Okay, the current vote split for Driver of the Day is 17% for Perez, 15% for Hamilton, and 12% for Russell. 5 laps to go, so if you want to vote for your favourite driver, go do that now. Lap 61 now. Of course, the voting closes on the last lap, so if you want to vote, do it very soon. Oh, Verstappen radio again. Okay. Perez is on the fastest lap currently. Ugh. Okay. And there's now a scrap between Kevin Magnussen and Lando Norris here. For 17th, yep. Okay. Okay, so Lando Norris was ahead of Kevin Magnussen for a split second, but Magnussen did have the inside line, so he was able to get back in front of him quite easily. Okay, Verstappen's fastest lap is a 1 minute 16.330 now, so okay. Paris radio. Okay, Perez has now been told to go all out, so prepare for some craziness from Sergio Perez. And here's a 5-second penalty for Yuki Tsunoda for pushing Zhou Guanyu off the track. Okay. That's quite interesting. Okay, lap 62 now. And there's Lewis Hamilton on the fastest Sector 1. The race so far. Oh, Verstappen radio again. Oof. Okay. Okay, lap 63. Okay. And lap 64 should be coming up any moment now. Right, final 3 laps to go. Oof. Okay. Okay. Final 3 laps. Oh, blue flags for, I think that's Lando Norris. Oh, it's Oscar Piastri, never mind. Okay. Charles Leclerc in 12th, hunting down Pierre Gasly in 11th. Although he is quite far back from him right now, so he may not get him just yet. Yeah, just a bit too far back. Lap 65. Okay. Okay, so final lap should be coming up any moment now. Okay, yep, final lap. Okay. Very tense minute and a quarter coming up now. Because Sergio Perez is now only 2.5 seconds behind George Russell. So George Russell could be on the podium right now. It's looking pretty likely anyway. So right now the podium's looking to be Hamilton, Verstappen, Russell. Okay. Okay. And here comes Max Verstappen to win the Spanish Grand Prix in 2023. Securing yet another Red Bull win, which means they have still won every race this season so far. And here comes Lewis Hamilton around the last couple of turns to get second place. And any moment now, George Russell will be coming round as well to get third. So it's a double Mercedes podium. And this is the 35th time that George Russell... No, this is the 35th time in F1 that Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen have had a 1-2 with each other. So, yeah, this is the 35th time that that's happened. Okay. Okay. And any moment now, the rest of the grid will take the checkered flag as well. Okay, last few cars now. And yeah, everyone's come home to take the checkered flag. And actually, everyone has taken the checkered flag today. No retirements, no yellow flags, no nothing. So this was another clean race. Wow. And Max wins the race, of course. Okay. Right, so I'll be signing off in a few minutes' time, once the podium ceremony has been completed. Hamilton radio. And Lewis Hamilton's got driver of the day with 24% of the vote. Wow. And this is the 275th points finish for Lewis Hamilton now. Wow. Okay. That was quite a good race, to be honest with you guys. A lot of overtakes, a lot of tyre pit stops. Of course, another Max Verstappen win. and a double Mercedes podium. So keep an eye on Mercedes now, I guess. Of course, Aston Martin as a whole had a bit of a disappointment race for their standards, and same goes for Ferrari, really. But yeah, Mercedes could be another team to watch out for now. Again, after what seems to be an eternity, Mercedes do seem to be back. But of course, Red Bull are still completely dominant. Like, you cannot say anything against Red Bull right now. They are really dominant currently. Okay, let's see who's doing the post-race interviews. Okay, they're just all getting weighed now. Okay. There's a very happy George Russell there. Okay, Sergio Perez there with Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has the fastest lap of the 1 minute 16.330 seconds, which gives him an extra point. So that brings him up to 26 points from this race, rather than the typical 25. Oh, the post-race interview is being done by Nico Rosberg, no less. Okay. Okay. Very happy with his result. He's very happy with his result from this race, of course. Max Verstappen did win. Ugh. Yeah, that was a pretty good race, I've got to be honest. Of course, everything went exactly to plan. Nobody went off, no yellow flags, no red flags. No one had an engine failure. It all went pretty well to plan. Like in Miami. And there's a massive cheer here for Lewis Hamilton. Okay. Now it's George's turn for his post-race interview. Okay. Yeah, I'll be signing off in about 5-ish minutes probably, guys. Once the Dutch and Swiss national anthems are done for, of course, Max Verstappen and Red Bull, once those are done, I'll probably sign this one off. So, thank you all in advance for joining me on this stream. If you've liked this, please like the stream and subscribe to my channel. The sub button will be just below the video title, and if you click the video title, you'll head into the description, at which point you'll see my social medias. But please comment as well, because why not? Let me know what you thought of the race, and if there was anything I missed in AstCa news, yeah, please head into my description as well, at which point you'll see my link tree, which will contain all of my social medias. And if you head below that, you'll see Roxanne's YouTube, as well as her website. Mianette is her YouTube, so please subscribe to her channel and check out her website. And lastly, please share the stream with all your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll be watching the podium real quick, but then I'll see you all tonight at 6 PM, so in just over 2 hours now. So please join me here again on YouTube with Roxanne this time for the 88th Astoundcast. So here's the podium any moment now. So yeah, 6 o'clock tonight, Astoundcast 88, and then I'll be recording tomorrow's video, and then I'll be going to bed. Because it's been because Sundays are now very long days. They used to be my easiest days to get through, but now they're my busiest by far. Because of course I've usually got 2 streams to do, being an F1 stream and an Astoundcast. Then I've got to record Monday's video on top of all that. So Sundays have now become very busy. But you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it, to be honest. Okay. And I've got a little bit of the cool-down room with George Russell, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen sitting together. George Russell's just recapping about how he thought it was raining, but it turns out it was just sweat coming from his head. That's gonna... He's not going to be forgetting about that one in a hurry. Yikes. Okay, now starting the podium ceremony. And here comes George Russell onto the podium to take 3rd place. Now here comes Lewis Hamilton. And of course, here comes the winner, Max Verstappen. And I think it's going to be the trophies now. Oh, national anthems now, so I'll shut up. I'll shut up for a minute while they happen. Yeah, I'll shut up now. That's the Dutch anthem done. Okay, you'll notice that I cringed for a good minute there because when I said the Swiss national anthem for Red Bull, I actually meant Austrian. Whoops. Sorry, Red Bull. But yeah, that's the anthem stunts. Now we'll get the trophies. Max Verstappen getting the winner's trophy. And here comes Mohammed Ben Sulayem with the winner's medal for Max Verstappen as well. Okay, now we have George Russell taking... Oh no. Now we're going to have the second place trophy for Lewis Hamilton. Oh no, sorry, this is the Constructors' Trophy for Red Bull, actually. Here comes the second place trophy for Lewis Hamilton now. Okay. And this is Mercedes' first double podium this year. Now we have the third place trophy for George Russell. So now that that's over and done with, I shall now sign this one off. So I did my outro a few minutes ago. So now all I have left to say is thank you all for joining me on the stream. Again, please join me and Roxanne tonight at 6 PM for the AstCast episode 88. And apart from that, I'll see you all tomorrow with another YouTube video. Bye, everyone.